vision towards the perfect business. Having a path which actually has the perfect imprintation on people's mind. Choosing a business that even works in future. With all of these thoughts in your mind, I'm very sure you would also want to look at a future, you would also want to look at a business which happens to go for a longer run. If you are someone with this entire plan, in this video I'll be telling you about a couple of businesses that can even work in the future as well. And these particular businesses will never die. These are actually the evergreen businesses. So to know what are these businesses, continue watching this video. I'm Varsha. Welcome to the Freedom Business English channel. Do not forget to subscribe and download our Freedom app. When I talk about business and when I talk about future, it's something that people usually think or talk about. So then, when I talk about businesses that even work out for you in future, are the ones which actually help in the livelihood of a human. When I tell you about these businesses, it's up to you to think about and mold your business in such a way that these actually give you the best end results. First thing is food. Food is very essential and plays a vital role when it comes to a human being's livelihood. So you have to remember that this sector is a never dying sector and it's always evergreen because people are gonna need food when it comes to their living and their lifestyle. It can either be in agriculture, you can choose what you have to do, and farmers are the backbone of every country. One day, if they happen to take a holiday, you know what is going to happen to our entire structure of food. So remember that food is one of the most important business that can never die. It's up to you to decide on what basis and what are the most important essentials that you need towards the food business and how you have to design the entire business model. Either you can start as a farmer or either you can start as anything in the supply chain. So you can decide on your business model and then go about with it. Next one is pharmacy. Pharmacy is one of the most important businesses that you can see anytime in the future because they belong to the medical world and medical world is the most needed in the present society. Because we all know that over time people will get sick. All the way from the child till the adult and the old age people all need medical care. And hospitals can actually provide you with that, but the need and necessity for the hospital medication is done by the pharmacy. Pharmacy business can never go out of trend or never go out of the line of extension because this is very necessary and it is needed for it. So pharmacy is one of the best and major things that even you can think and go about. Why? Because over time, there might be different causes and different viruses that can actually affect. And over time, this will happen to give you a good revenue and income if you have that particular business. Let's take the example of COVID at the present times itself. When we talk about COVID, we all know that COVID actually brought in a huge change in the lifestyle of every individual, and every year there was a change even in the business structure. But the only people making money here was the food as well as the pharmacy. We all know that every medication that is newly made and newly invented comes directly into the pharmacy in the first stages, and people have to rush to the stores to get their type of drug or medicine that is being needed for the particular surgery or let's say particular disease or the sickness that has been affecting or the virus that has caused the entire population to have a mass pandemic. So remember that no matter what, pharmacy business will do really good even in the future, including the present days. Next one is actually the residential developments. We all know that food, shelter, medication is the most important thing. And when we talk about shelter, every individual on this planet needs a place to stay. So we all know that we will live in a home or a house and which needs to be constructed over time. And house is something which actually takes time to construct, and people will obviously go towards this by building more and more houses for them to stay. Depending on the population, this might actually increase. So if you are into construction or residential development business, this is going to be a huge margin of turnover because this business can never go out of trend. Probably the only way this can go out of trend is only because this might be affected by one simple logic of the competition. If you are involved in the competition and if you think that you will be having great rivals towards you, then that is the only way your business can be put down, because either way you will have to make your way through it, because in this world people need a place to stay in. When we decide a place to stay in, we all know that it differs. People might prefer flats and own houses, and when you get into these side of construction, this is a huge margin when it always comes to the way of building and the way of earning the revenue itself. Next one is the transportation. This is the best business as far as I know, only because transportation is needed everywhere and every time. You can either start by owning your own rental transportation, or you can start by actually contributing into the government as well. When you're talking about transportation, everyone needs to travel from one place to another. And if you want to be the person that is going either to work or either to a place which is nearby or a neighborhood, you will always have to remember that you need your own vehicle, or either you need to take a rental vehicle like cabs or anything. Let me also tell you this. When I say transportation, you can also be in the automobile business. You can also be in the supply chain of the products or the equipments needed for the entire automobile to be prepared. This is a huge market, and this business is actually wide and big. You can start by manufacturing a product by yourself, or you can also start by providing rental services. We all know Uber, Ola and everything, and we all know the way they started and the way they are now. And we all know that how much cars and two-wheelers rule the present world. We have seen the car's evolutions over and over time. You never know that probably in future we might have a car which actually flies. So this is one of the most important sectors, and if you're smart enough to think how you can bring in a new way of cars or two-wheelers and the way that you can conquer people's mind towards transportation, which has always been a margin of growth, because we can often hear people say that I want to buy this car or I want to buy that car. The petrol price varies from time to time. And when it comes to the cars and EV vehicles, these will rule the future. So when it comes to electrical vehicles and their mindset of creating the cars or two-wheelers, we know that they are solving the present generation problems. And when I talk about business, you always have to remember that you have to go generation-wise. Next one is the hotels. We all know that we all fancy hotels. We all want to go for good food and good life, and also we all want to eat good cuisines. When we talk about hotel, we all know the failure and the success story of hotels. It's actually a 50-50 market. It's up to you to mold your business and then make sure that which can survive in the market. But if it actually hits the growth stage and succeeds with it, you know that your hotel is going to make wonders to you, and this can actually get you recognition in a wider range. We all know that line that once you capture the heart and taste of a person, you can capture them towards your business. So you know that once you win the taste and people love coming to eat your food, you know that you've been identified and they would actually prefer you having a venture even in their locality. And if your venture is doing incredibly well, let me tell you this, people are going to come from everywhere and anywhere just to eat your product. We all have seen how much social media is actually influencing all of us to try different cuisines, different foods, and these in different places. And this actually helps us even grow, and our love for food is incredible. If you start a hotel business and have the perfect food, this is going to do wonders to us. Next one is yours and my favorite, fashion. We all love fashion. You can always be held back in trend when it comes to fashion, but this can never go out of people's mind. Fashion keeps on changing. Sometimes the past repeats and new way of fashion comes into life, but then this can never go out of trend, only because we all love clothing and we all have the necessity of clothes. But when I tell you that this industry has a huge success rate, only because they have a huge supply chain. And you can either be the distributor, the seller, or have the raw material yourself. Even if you own the production of raw materials, you are going to earn a load, because a lot of people have different preferences when it comes to quality and quantity. So if you know that what is the trend of today and what are the most needed quality goods for the fashion accessories or fashion clothing, you can achieve a lot more in this industry. Fashion industry can start by having a small store. You can actually come and sell the final product by having an own shop as well. You can set up a clothing business or take a franchise of the branded business itself. We all know that today's world, clothing has a huge effect on us. Next one is the event management. When we talk about event management, we know that weddings and functions never go out of trend. Every event is most important. And if we talk about India itself, we are a festive country. Let it be Ganesh Chaturthi or let it be Diwali, we all know the way we celebrate. And weddings are a 5-day journey for us, all the way from Haldi till the reception. It's all an eventful session. So this is one of the most important things as an event manager. Let it be birthdays or many more functions, just in the start if you have a great knowledge of decoration. Even if it's funerals, we all know the way that it has to be done in the rightest ritual. Event management is one of the most important things that you have to keep in mind, because event management business can actually give you a great earning initially itself. It's just that people have to learn and identify your business, because they have to know that how creative you are and how is the best way that you can portray their entire memorable event in the right way. You have to just make sure that whatever services that you are providing with is really good. If so, this is one of the industries which will actually make sure that you skyrocket towards the success. Hope I've given you enough information about the actual businesses that can never go out of trend, even if you happen to consider it for future. If you like this video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe, and also download our Freedom app, because it's got many more courses even on event management as well as marketing, as well as promotion and many more. And when it comes to business, this app has got so many courses that can teach you and guide you towards the business that you can start right away. You happen to get the right knowledge from the people who are guiding you and have actually succeeded in the business, including you can learn about personal finances, also about organic farming, which can actually help you survive in the future itself. Because I just mentioned that farming is the backbone of every country and you can always achieve towards it. Thank you so much. Get wise and break free.